Hey guys, I'm Sarah. This is Rue, and this is our new van. Learning to live in a van has been an adjustment. Even though I have prior RV experience from living in an Airstream, there's always a learning curve when you get a new rig. So here is a video about our first few weeks in the van. Rue and I spent 2 weeks traveling from California to Michigan to go pick up my new van. During this time, we hopped from different campsites to hotels to friends' houses, and honestly, it wasn't that easy. Living out of the Jeep was a bit of a struggle and solidified my reasoning for wanting a van. I can't keep track of anything in here. Where's my water? How we doing? We're feeling great. Trying to get some work done, but there's like no space in here. So we're great. We're good. Everything's great. Once we got to Michigan, I moved everything I own from the Jeep to an Airbnb to pick up my family from the airport. The reason my family met me in Michigan was to purchase my Jeep, but they also got to see my van as well. The day of my van reveal, I was absolutely overwhelmed with joy. It was so cool getting to see everything that we planned come to life. Oh my god, you guys. Wow. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. Wow, this is so beautiful. We love our van. Thank you, Drifter Vans. Okay,
you're welcome.
Go ahead. They staged the van so beautifully, and I didn't plan to sleep in it the first night so I could get some pretty footage in the morning, but I just couldn't help myself. This is the current state of my van. I'm almost done moving in. There's definitely way less storage than the Airstream, but I've gotten rid of a lot of things, so I think I might pull it off. I had to move into my van in quite a time crunch, and then I said farewell to my family and my Jeep the next morning. You ready to hit the road, baby girl? You ready to hit the road? Yeah, let's go. So I am officially all moved in. Now I am in a parking lot, learning how to use my toilet. So glamorous. And Rue, little Miss Rue, is sleeping on the floor instead of her dog den. What's wrong with the bed, Rue? Hey, don't ruin it. She really doesn't like dog beds, I swear. Listen, can you hear that? I'm running air conditioning completely off grid. Rue and I are so thankful. I just went grocery shopping for the first time. I picked up some essentials like Tupperware, stuff like that. And I'm gonna try my best to get organized now because pretty much everything is just like thrown into drawers because I had to move in such a hurry. So now it's time to get my life together and get organized because I can't function if I'm not organized. So I basically, when I got groceries, I put everything up here with the pocket door closed, and then I opened it up. And now, Rue, go back. Go back. We're getting there. We're getting there. So this is the current state of my beautiful van. Hence why I wanted to give you guys a little tour before I ruined it with all of my stuff. And then what's so nice is I can just close this. Goodbye world, hello privacy. This is just a quick peek at my EcoFlow touchscreen panel. So basically this available time, it adjusts based on what I'm doing. So right now I'm running the air conditioner and it's pulling 260-ish watts. And you can look and see how much. So the air conditioner is actually pulling less than that. The fridge is pulling 57. The overhead lights are pulling 24. So this is like a really amazing system. Basically with the solar input I'm getting right now and the output from everything I'm running right now, I could live off grid for about 4 days and 10 hours. And like I said, the numbers adjust based on what I'm doing, but it's pretty amazing. You ready? Ready to hit the road? Let's go. I have so much less anxiety driving this versus towing the Airstream. It's like a world of difference. And I get a passenger seat buddy now. Oh, really? It only takes 5 minutes to destroy your van for 2 batteries. So I'm on like day 3 living in the van, and it is still, it's just a disaster in here. But look who's finally sleeping in her crate, or in her dong den, because I took the mattress out. I actually asked Linda, who does all of the upholstery for Drifter vans, to make a smaller bed for Rue. That way I can store her food and other dog items in the den as well. Rue actually likes the new dog bed and has been sleeping in there now. I just had to document my laundry setup. Look at that. It's like a backpack. Hey, Rue. I feel like Santa with a sack full of presents, and it's called clean clothing. Whew. My first 2 weeks in the van were spent in Michigan, and most of that time was spent at the Drifter van shop. Shout out to Billy and Garrett for absolutely pimping my ride and making the most perfect and custom home for me and Rue. Thank you to everyone on the Drifter Vans team who contributed to my van. This is seriously the most special home I could have ever imagined, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Not only was I getting customizations done to the van, I was also filming some videos and spending a lot of time training for my new job. I was offered a remote consulting job with Drifter Vans, which is an insanely unique opportunity that I could not pass up. This opportunity arose very organically. I started as a client, I asked to become a partner, and now I'm becoming a team member. Never in a million years would I think that I would be selling camper vans while living in a camper van. It's extremely flexible, so I'm still able to travel full-time, create YouTube videos, and I can pick up a healthcare contract whenever I need to. I'm also a travel CT tech. I do CAT scans in emergency rooms. And as you know, if you've been to a hospital, you've probably had a CT scan. They are very high in demand. So I will definitely keep that job in my back pocket. But for now, I'm really gonna hone in on this and my YouTube channel and see where it takes me. The consultations are coming pretty naturally to me because I am living in a van that Drifter Vans created. I have prior RV experience to compare and contrast this to an Airstream. I can help people choose their layouts and different appliances based on their wants and needs. And a really cool thing that Drifter Vans just established is a relationship with a credit union, and they now offer RV financing, which is bananas because they didn't offer this when I was a client. So that being said, if you're interested in a custom van by Drifter Vans, I will put my information in the description below so you can book a consult with both me and Paul, the co-owner of Drifter Vans. I actually had a lot of fun hanging out in the shop for a couple weeks. I got to know the team pretty well, and so did Rue. She probably really misses all of the attention she was getting there. And I got to learn so much by being behind the scenes and seeing what goes into each van. And it's a lot. After I left Michigan, I immediately crossed over to Canada, and I had a very interesting border crossing experience you may have seen on my Instagram. But we will save that story for a future video where I talk about all of the adventures that I've been on so far in the van. Let's just say starting my van journey in a different country and crossing borders on the first day probably wasn't the smartest idea. But I'm glad I did it. I'm back in the States now, and I have stories to share. I'm having a bunch of Amazon items delivered to a locker a couple hours east of me, so I'm gonna pick those up in a couple days, and they're pretty much all of the final touches that I want to make to the van before I create the official tour video, which I think is gonna be really fun because I'll go over all of the customizations that they did at the shop and the ones that I did myself. They're pretty much all things that make my life easier as a full-timer, which is pertinent when you are living in a vehicle or an RV of any sort. Even though my surroundings change every day, I now have a stable home that is consistent and absolutely lovely, and I can't wait to share it more with you guys. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow my van journey, and I will see you guys next time.